Hello, CVU. It is I, Peter Booth, your RISE coordinator. At home, there's my family. At home because today in my world is actually Monday, not Tuesday or Wednesday. As you might hear, I have a little bit of a frog in my throat and I am sick and I'm doing the responsible thing and staying home. For fear that I will not be in school on Tuesday when you're actually watching this, I am, through the magic of the internet and Gary Lambert and Ken Hypes, I am pre-recording this for you to view on Tuesday and then on Wednesday again, and we'll be cutting in with some live stuff that Gary has, and that my piece, excuse me, will be recorded. So I am here to talk to you about RISE, which stands for Reflective, Interest-Based, which is the important part, Student Experiences. RISE is happening this year for the first time since 2019. So we've been offline for 4 years, and we're back at it this year, from June 1st to June 14th. So that is the last 2 weeks of the school year. And so I'm going to kind of give you some information about this today to help you help us make RISE as good as we can do. So the agenda, we're going to show you a video in a minute, which gives you some background and a sense of what the building feels like, what's going on, what it's like to be in RISE at the end of the school year. Then I'm going to give you some information on the different offerings that teachers have put together. And then I'm going to show you where to access the course listings and how to complete a very, very, very important survey, which hopefully you'll be doing either right now during C3 or maybe on Thursday if you run short on time today during C3. So Gary, cue the video and roll it.
RISE stands for Reflective, Interest-Based Student Experiences. It's a 2-week interest-based learning intensive that happens at the end of our school year. Interest-based learning is where students really dive in to their interests, either something that they're interested in, just like the definition of the world, like they'd like to know more about, or interested because they've made some sort of connection in their class and they'd like to take that learning even deeper and extend their school year.
It's been many years in the making. 5 years ago that Peter Langella and I were looking at different models for how our school year could end. Really ways to engage our student body and get them invested and excited and launching out of their school year with positivity and a sense of accomplishment and a goal of lifelong learning.
I think the power is that students are having an opportunity to engage in something that they're really excited in. So they feel more invested and are connected to their learning in a way that doesn't happen in the typical classroom.
They're all coming back. They don't talk very much on the way to our locations, and on the way back, they cannot stop talking because they're so excited about what they did.
It was far more laid back than any classroom setting I've been in, but it was a really interesting environment to work in. I still got a lot done.
Kids get to do something they never thought of existed before, and then they're actually doing stuff and being able to have that really tangible contact with whatever they're interested in.
Hopefully that video gave you a sense that there were lots of kids outside. There were lots of kids doing things. I think, I'm working from memory, I think there's only one clip in there where students are in a classroom and it looks like they're just having a discussion, which is a fabulous event. But the point is there's lots of things, kids doing things that don't typically happen in regular sort of CVU regular classes. The point of RISE, and this is critical that you walk away with this, is that you're making choices of what you want to learn about and how you want to learn about that stuff. Now, CVU teachers put a lot of effort into their courses and building choice into their courses already. But even then, they're kind of working within some tight parameters, right? Like you get to make choices of what you want to study, but it's about U.S. history. You make choices about what you want to study, but it's still, you're working on natural resources. So even though lots of teachers work to put as much choice as they can, because we know that when students are interested in what they're working on genuinely, that's how ideas take hold and things get locked into your long-term memory. So even though that happens daily around CBU, RISE is a real time when sort of the script flips, and it's not about what teachers think is important, it's about what students think is important. So what I think you'll have an advisory with you is this list right here, which is a list of all of the RISE offerings that teachers have put together. So there's 89 courses on here. We've got making graphic novels, photojournalism, housing and houselessness in Vermont, American Sign Language, rock climbing, sports analytics, tap dancing, bread making, lots and lots of things on here. And this, hopefully you have this paper and advisory. And what I would recommend you do is use this as sort of a note-taking thing. 89 choices is a lot to keep track of. And so you can use this as a sheet to make notes about which courses look interesting to you. Here's the piece, as my friend Val Gardner would say. The important part of today is that teachers need you to give them feedback on the courses that they have put together. So here are 89 people in the building working to build what they think is a class that will genuinely interest high school students. Today, in just a few minutes, I'm going to be showing you a survey that we're asking you to fill out and give us feedback and tell us, here are courses on this list that I'm interested in being a part of, and I'm hoping I can get into when the actual RISE signups happen. So teachers need your feedback, and the importance of this from your perspective is that if you give us good feedback on what courses you're actually interested in, then the teachers know which courses people want to do, and those courses will run. If you don't give us feedback, so you just skip this process, don't want to deal with it, or you just go in and click a bunch of random courses and don't really pay attention, then the feedback that we'll be getting won't be courses you actually want. And that's vitally important, that what you're offered for opportunities during RISE in June are courses that students are genuinely interested in. So I'm going to share my screen. In your email just moments ago, again, through the magic of technology, which is really ridiculous when you think about it, that I'm recording something right now, and I was able to time an email to go out right when I wanted it to go out tomorrow, which is today for you. Anyways, in your email, there'll be a link to this page right here. You're going to then click on the link below for your house and grade. So if you're in Chittenden House and you're in grade 11, you'll click this link here. If you're in Snelling House, you're in grade 9, you'll click this link here. And I'll tell you what this does is it allows us to not have every single student in the building trying to access the same Google form at the same time. There are 16 copies of it, and so you're spread across a wider connection of Google Forms, which will hopefully help with the technology piece. So I am a Chittenden teacher, so I'm Chittenden, and I'm in grade 10 because I have 3 more years till retirement, so I'm a Chittenden sophomore. Shout out to my sophomore class council people. I'm going to click on Chittenden grade 10, and I'm going to open this link, and you'll see it takes a little bit of time, a couple seconds for the options to pop up, but here they all are. So every one of these is a course description, which corresponds to this piece of paper that you hopefully can hear. I'm not sure if I'm still on the screen or not, but if I am on the screen, boom, this piece of paper is alphabetical. These courses are alphabetical. So if you found a course in the paper you're interested in, you can read about it here. So every teacher made a title for their course. So here's a course called Bob Dylan, NWA, and Kendrick Lamar, The History of American Protest Music. They've got an image here with an inappropriate word. I should have caught that, sorry. An image here representing what they're going to be doing, and then a write-up talking about what that course will be about. So your task is to not read through, but look through all of these. You don't need to read every single one. Like if you read Color Your Life, tie-dyeing techniques, you're like, I'm not really interested in that. I'm going to skip that one. Ooh, contemporary dance, that I'm interested in. I'm going to read more detail about contemporary dance and see if it's something I might want to do. As you're going through this, your task is to choose 5 of these classes. And I'll tell you that my advisory did a practice run on this last week. And the problem they had was that they had trouble getting it down to just 5. There are 89 choices. And Jack Crum said, this is ridiculous. There's no way I can choose only 5 courses. There's too many that I want to do, which was great to hear. That told me that teachers had gotten a lot of courses that at least Jack Crum was interested in. So you're going to go through these, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You're going to click on ones that you are interested. So here we go, Crash Course in Art History. I'm interested in that. And, darkroom photography. My dad's a photographer. I'm interested in that. Designing crossword puzzles. I'm interested in that. And I'm also making note, these are alphabetical. So you really, if you look over here on my scroll bar, there are a lot of courses. Don't just grab the first 5 way up here and go, oh, boom, there's 5, I'm done. You want to make sure that you are looking at the whole list, because down at the end here are some very cool things. Unified Sports, I'm a huge fan of Unified Sports. Spending time at Zeno Mountain Farm, understanding human behavior, working on the trails at Sleepy Hollow. So you want to make sure you look at the entire form when you're going through this, and then click on 5 of these. I've already lost count of how many I have. I think that's 4, and then 5. And then when you're all done, scroll to the bottom and click the submit button, which I'm not going to do right now because I want to show you a couple more things. If you go through all 89 of these and you think, wow, none of these courses really interest me. There is, I have interests, but none of them are met by these courses. If you go in alphabetical order into independent learning, and you will see right here, independent learning seminar. So the description here says the entire reason for RISE is to allow students to pursue topics of study they are genuinely interested in. If you have something you want to do that you've always wanted to study, but none of the RISE offerings align with that, you can click on, I'm interested in this, and then I and some other teachers will help work with you to develop your own personal 2-week plan for what you want to do from June 1st to June 14th. So this is an option for anybody who goes through here and says, yeah, great effort, teachers, but these courses don't really interest me. There aren't 5 of them I want to do. Then we're going to say to you, great, what do you want to learn about? And let's sit down and talk about how you can develop your own program for those 2 weeks. And then the last thing I want to show you, or the second to last thing, is down at the very, very bottom. It says, if there's a course that you wish a teacher would offer, let us know. We are still looking for ideas for courses that students want. So if you have an idea for a course that a teacher didn't offer, but you think that you and a bunch of other CVU students would be interested in, you can type that in here. And if there's a teacher whose course people weren't that interested in, they might say, oh, I'll develop a course based on this because this, I agree with the student, that was a really good idea that kids will be interested in. So that's another way for you to give us feedback. The last thing I want to show you is you've seen some of these yellow hearts and a guy thinking here, and a hand. These are symbols that CVU teachers used just to give you a sense of what their course was about. So this course, which is a hand, is the art of bread making and pizza. The hand kind of indicates we'll be doing stuff. This will be, you won't be sitting in a chair. You will be moving around doing things with your hands and kind of creating or designing something. So that's what hands is. A heart is where you are working on wellness of some kind. So your own personal wellness or the wellness of your community. And the head is sort of a thinking, using your head and thinking about things, sort of an intellectual pursuit. So sports analytics is not going to be about going outside and throwing a football around. It's going to be thinking about questions like, how can I win my fantasy football league? When should you punt in a football game? When should you foul? So thinking about the analytics of sports, not actually playing sports. So these symbols are meant to be a guide for you of what you can kind of expect to be doing in that course. I'm scrolling back right now to get back to the independent learning. So independent learning seminar, for example, has all 3 symbols, because what you're going to do, what you'll be focusing on, whether it's wellness of yourself or the community, or making something, or studying something, that's going to be entirely up to you. So I think that's all the information. I'm going to go down to the bottom here and click submit, and I'll get a note saying, hey, your response has been submitted, and now student version of me is all done, and I have submitted the information that teachers are dying to get from me. What you want to do now is go to your email, and an email literally just arrived at 1:25, just a couple minutes ago, with a link to the document that I showed you, a link to that launching page where you choose your house and your class. And that will then take you to the survey itself. Please, 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 if there's one takeaway from this that I want you to have, it's that this is really important. It's important, one, because teachers are sort of on the edge of their seats, and I'm not kidding about that, hoping that you can give them feedback on whether students are interested in their courses. And it's important to you because we need to get really good feedback from every kid in the building so we know that we've met the needs of students. And if you feel like we're not meeting your genuine interests, you've got that independent learning seminar option, and you have the question at the bottom about which course you think would be good and you wish a teacher would put on. Again, I'll reference this, which is a list of all the courses. So as you're scrolling through, you might go through and circle or make notes on here. Then when you're all done, say, okay, here are the 5 I want to do. Then go back to the survey and click, 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 click on 5 of them, hit submit, and then your work is done. I think my work is done right now. I'm going to say that I hope this all recorded and went well, and I really appreciate, again, Gary and Ken accommodating me staying home today. I will hopefully be in school when you're watching this. If I'm not, you can still email me with questions, and I hope that all the tech works out on the Google form end of things as well. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Peace.